This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today is February 14th, 2022. Today we're going to be going a little bit into the Russia-Ukraine stuff again, just kind of an update on that. We'll be continuing our amendment series of the Constitution, just going on from Amendment 11, starting there, and then going as far as we please, and we might have a third episode on that. We'll see. And then from there, we'll be good to go. What else were we going to update them on?
We're going to be talking a little bit about a book that we just read.
That's right. Thank you. Brave New World.
Brave New World
Yes.
by Aldous Huxley.
Yes.
Alex?
Alice Huxley. I think that's right. We'll double check it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm Noah.
Xavier.
Logan.
Jesse.
Awesome. Cool. Let's update him first on
Aldous.
the Russia-Ukraine. Aldous Huxley. Okay, that makes sense.
We all butchered it.
Dadgummit. Log, what's the update on the Russia-Ukraine stuff?
Basically, they're still amassing troops, and the Ukraine president came out and said they're going to invade on Wednesday, and then he came out, like, it was a little while later the same day, and he's like, yo, it was basically just a joke. I don't know when they're going to invade or if they're going to invade. This is all blown out of proportion.
I don't know if they're going to invade.
And it's like, okay, but Russia has 70% of all their military on the border.
Oh, wow. Total takeover.
Yeah, so it's going to be an absolute wipeout. They're expected to kill 50,000 troops in the first 2 days of the Ukraine troops, and I think it was within 48 hours, Putin said, we will wipe out Ukraine's army.
The question is, if you see these crazy numbers, as a leader, even a leader of Ukraine, you see these crazy numbers against you, you're going to have some crazy casualties. Would it be so bad to just be like, you know what, instead of having this fight, fucking take our country kind of thing?
Well, I think the citizens, too, because I was reading an article that there was, like, old ladies that were like, hey, we're going out to dig trenches and shit. We're not.
Yeah, they're all training, even the citizens. But moral of the story is it could be stopped by Joe Biden, because if he just came out and announced Ukraine is not allowed to join NATO, that would put an end to it, because Ukraine is not going to join NATO anyways. The military-industrial complex and all of them are looking for war. That's what they want, so that's what they're going to get.
There you go. War pays.
Yep.
Cool.
But just watch out for that. And then Taiwan is going to be taking over World War III. Let's get
Like
it started.
It's happening for sure.
Yep.
Watch the stock markets. Watch the crypto markets. We'll probably see a considerable drop in those to start.
They've already started.
Oh, dude, they've been dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they dropped even aggressively more today once
I know.
the Ukraine president was all, Wednesday they're invading, but it's just a prank, bro.
I was watching them, and
The
yeah, they all
fuck?
dropped a lot. Luckily, I don't have anything else in the stock market right now, so it should be okay that way. But yeah, just hedge your positions if you got positions in the markets.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go on to Brave New World then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. So Brave New World, Aldous Huxley.
Yes, sir.
He basically wrote a book. It's similar to 1984 in the fact that it is a dystopian future kind of book, but Aldous Huxley approaches it in a different way, saying the book isn't based on, we'll say, communist order, all this other jazz, where it's super regimed and super disheartening, we'll say. Aldous Huxley kind of approaches it as if the world is drowning in pleasure kind of thing. Like order and pleasure, because everything they do is like, yeah, there's no moral premise to anything. You just need to be happy and pleasured the entirety of your life, and that creates in people's minds a nothingness of the world. And so it's very interesting to see how dystopia can be found in both ways, and I dare say this one more relates to our future right now. Like, of course, we've got we've got regimes, communist regimes and all that are working on taking over different places, and our own government just leading us right down that path. But also the world we live in is one of pleasure and instant gratification. So it was very interesting to see the differences. What did you guys think about it?
I liked it.
I didn't read it.
I kind of find it interesting, but when we're talking about, like, that's the way we're going, I find it hard because it's like, okay, everybody now is, like, giving into their instant gratification and all that stuff and, instant pleasure, but they're not happy. They're doing it because they're depressed, and it's making them more depressed.
Nobody was happy in that book.
That's true.
Like, they had the pleasure, but nope, everyone was dead inside.
I mean, all the way around, it's disgusting. They have nothing. You're stagnating. It's just a flat line at that, Civilization is flatlining just to keep it safe and everybody happy.
It makes the world too comfortable. Like what we live in, and then once anything hits the fan, it's like, what the fuck do we do? And then we have mass casualties, just like in Texas, when they had what was like the snowstorm or whatever, and they weren't prepared for it.
The heater went out, and a lot of people froze to death. When it was like
nobody was prepared for
not
that
even
shit.
that cold either.
Yeah,
Like could have thrown on a jacket.
just makes the world too
But
comfortable.
they just don't have heaters in their houses down there.
They probably don't own many jackets or coats either. If it's that warm.
And you wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah, just throw some blankets on. I don't know. You're definitely going to have blankets.
Yeah.
I also disagree with the way the Savage went about it, though, as well.
He was dumb.
I didn't really like the way he handled it. It's like self-harm, self-hatred, and just
Well, he had a
completely-
very religious background, and a lot of the religions are suffering hatred
Came out of
of
nowhere,
oneself.
though.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about being a Christian, and I was like, hey, he's a Christian, and he's all whipping himself. I was like, oh, damn, okay.
Lash.
And then, like,
Strumpet. I've been using that word. I love it.
I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, what the fuck is he saying?
It's like a whore, right?
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's funny as shit.
That was so
love that.
weird. I thought at the end they were going to get together and she was going to, like, join the side and he was going to, like,
Me too.
convince her to, like, get out of it.
Yeah.
And they were going to live happily ever after on
He's
some
like, no,
island.
you're a strumpet. Get away from me.
you whore. Whore. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, that
Went
was.
0 to 100 because it was just 1 second. He was all, bitch, got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true. It was like, he's like watching her and she's trying to make an advance. He's like, oh, snap, she's pretty. And then he's like, wait, no.
I'm going to kill you.
Pretty good book. Definitely recommend the read. Again, it's called Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Yeah, it's a pretty darn good book. Anyone else have thoughts on that one?
Just real quick. Neither side, I think, is a healthy way. With the religion, the way that they, like the Savages had their world, I didn't like that. And I didn't like it's too much order. They had too much order on one side and almost too much chaos on the other side. I don't know if it would be chaos, but I don't know. Strange.
Like anarchy.
Yeah. Just like, okay, yeah, things may be too easy now, but it doesn't mean you need to always make things harder for yourself constantly.
I like the Savage's moral premise. Not the way he went about it necessarily, but everything that he saw in the Brave New World, he was just like, no, this is wrong. Something is wrong here.
I like the part where
And he didn't back down from that either. It was great.
he stuck to his guns, and it was like, yeah, things need meaning, or it's like kind of pointless to do it.
Yeah.
I
most
agree with that.
definitely. And everything can have a meaning and does have a meaning, but it was interesting how the order side, like, genetically engineered everybody. There was no
That was
natural
wild.
birth, any of that. I was like, what the hell?
So is that, I was wondering, are they all clones?
A lot of them would be, yeah.
Okay.
They were in packs of up to 72, was it? Something like that?
Oh,
From
I
one
just-
egg or something?
I was just wondering, because they said the
How many?
alphas were the only ones that were unique.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were the only ones that were unique humans.
They definitely had a pecking order, almost like in Red Rising.
Yeah, it was real similar.
Interesting.
Except for they didn't just make them retarded.
Yeah, that's true. They purposely chemically engineer the babies, like poison them and shit when they're in the artificial womb, so they're stupid.
Yeah, deprive them of oxygen and shit.
Yeah,
That's playing God. It's dangerous.
It's creepy.
it's interesting.
But anyway,
Very interesting. All right. Should we jump into these amendments here?
Yeah.
We'll continue from the last time. So we ended with Amendment 10. Okay. Let's move on. So, just a reminder, Amendment 10 was that the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. So, that was a recap on Amendment 10. Let's go on to Amendment 11. And this was ratified in 1795, it says. Says the judicial power of the United States shall not be the construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state or by citizens or subject of any foreign state. So let's see what this one says exactly. The judicial power of the United States shall not be the construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state, by citizens or subjects of any foreign state. Basically, I think this one is saying that the Supreme Court of the United States will not participate in lawsuits or any equity rulings between states, essentially, by citizens of another state. So the states can't sue each other via the Supreme Court. Citizens can't sue states via the Supreme Court.
so they have to go through in like local courts.
Looks like they'll have to go through either their state court or if it is inside the same state, then they could go to the Supreme Court. But the states can't sue each other via the Supreme Court.
Okay.
That's the understanding of that one. But what are you getting from it, Jess?
This, when I looked it up on, what's this website, the constitutioncenter.org, it says that it means that the federal courts can choose not to hear cases against the state.
That makes sense.
Same thing with states. They can just choose not to rule on them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Amendment 12. This one's kind of a long one, so bear with me. This was ratified in 1804. It says the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president. Excuse me. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president, and of all persons voted for as vice president, and of the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be president, if such a number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if no person have such majority, then from the persons having the highest numbers, not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having 1 vote, a quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of death or other constitutional disability of the president. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president. If such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. Quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators, and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. But no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States. This is simply creating the Electoral College.
Yeah. I was going to say that's
Yeah.
a long version of
Yeah.
electoral college.
Very long. Correct. So electoral college is essentially the votes are counted. They go up to the Senate. The what is it?
House.
No, the leader of the House or Senate.
Speaker.
Speaker. Thank you. Speaker of the House shall count the votes and decide who's the president at that point. If they can't decide because the votes are too close, then the House and Senate will vote for them essentially in the electoral college. Very interesting.
Okay. Isn't it the vice president that will then take over and make the final decision?
So it did say that the vice president will take over if they don't. Yeah. So if they don't decide by 4th day of March next following, so March 4th, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of death or other constitutional disability of the president. Cool.
Yeah.
So yes, the vice president would take over.
Okay. And then if he dies, then the Speaker of the House becomes president, I believe. He or she.
Maybe.
You know they have a designated survivor. Isn't that so weird?
What?
What does that mean?
They never have all government officials at the White House at the same time. Someone always has to be like away, so that so if everyone dies, there's one person that can take over. They call it designated survivor.
Have you heard of shadow government?
Yes, but they have a TV show about it. But
Isn't that from
But
the
it's a real life
the
thing.
White Horse or the Behold the White
Well,
Horse?
who is that?
That might be, yeah.
who's what?
Who's the shadow survivor? Or the whatever?
Shadow government?
No, who's the survivor?
Oh, it's usually some like low level dude, some like agriculture guy normally, because everyone's, I don't know. You're not missing the agriculture guy, you know. But
Yeah. That way, if everybody dies, then
there's at least someone. Yeah, I think.
shit. Interesting. All right. 13th Amendment. This one is one of the most controversial and most important ones in the United States history. It was ratified December 6, 1865. Okay. Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And Section 2. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. This is what caused the Civil War, or part of what. Let me change that. This happened during the Civil War.
I'd say this is what won the Civil War.
Yeah,
They got
there
a
you
lot
go.
of the runaway slaves to join the North.
There you go.
You know what's funny? Black people are not in slavery. It's the Mexican people. Because to get transported over, they'll have the cartel or whatever pay for them, and then they have to work. They have to work it off. That's modern day
Indentured servitude.
slavery. Yeah,
You know what else is? Student loans,
yeah.
medical bills.
You think?
Why would medical bills? I can see the student loans, but medical bills.
All right.
But it's all a choice. I guess not medical.
Yeah, it's not a choice.
Student
for medical
loans, at
stuff,
least.
usually. Student loans, that is a choice. And if it was appropriate pay for the amount of schooling you're getting, if it was appropriate interest rates for the amount of schooling you're getting,
I was gonna say
things like that.
That's what kills them.
Yeah,
You
when
get
you
an
got,
extra $20,000 in
yeah,
interest.
10 to 12% interest rates, it's like, oh my gosh.
It's outrageous.
That's what they were offering for my flight school stuff. I said, yeah. Or I was looking at like people who had gone through the program and who had gotten these loans, and a lot of them were between 7 and 12%. It's like, holy fuck. That is
Yeah.
a lot. So I ended up going a different route. Got about 4% instead.
Way better.
Much better. Still a little expensive, but not too bad.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say about?
Oh, yeah, medical stuff.
Yeah.
So the medical world is very overinflated because it goes through insurance companies,
Right.
right? And they jack these prices up very, very high. The cost of healthcare in America is above and beyond pretty much anywhere in the world.
Because they have
So-
a monopoly on it.
Right.
Which is
Government will
illegal
pay
as
for a lot
shit.
of stuff too.
They're all buddies. They're all in with the government and a few big business corporations.
Yeah.
They just jack these prices through the roof, and then you got people dying because they can't get insulin.
Mm.
You know?
Which didn't the guy that made insulin made it a free patent? I'm pretty
He
positive.
sold the patent for $1, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody could get it.
Yep.
Oh,
And
no.
Trump brought down insulin a lot,
Makes sense.
made it way cheap, and then got jacked back up.
Yeah.
It's
So-
crazy.
Yeah. I watched a video the other day. This mom had her 9-year-old kid, whatever, and she said their insulin is $1,000 a month.
It should be free
The
because you
insulin.
can't stop that.
Not free.
It's cheap to make though, right? I was under the impression that it cost them a couple bucks.
So
Right.
maybe like what, $20 a month, not 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
That is outrageous.
All I'm saying is nothing's ever free, but I do think that the government shouldn't be touching the medical industry.
No,
and
no.
messing with it. It should be privatized, and they should have set pricing so that you can have competition. Because you can't really have competition if there's no set pricing on anything.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting until you get screwed over. But the good thing about that is a lot of hospitals and stuff will lower your bills tremendously if you don't have the ability to pay for it.
I've also heard if you ask for an itemized receipt,
Yeah.
they all of a
they'll be
sudden
like,
care.
"Oh."
And they make it way cheaper.
Yeah, they'll just throw random shit on there. So beware of medical stuff.
Hence the reason childbirth is $14,000 in the hospital if everything goes perfect.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I seen a video of some lady, she went through and like priced it all out. It was over 14 grand. And that was a perfect scenario. Holy
Damn.
fuck.
Pray for me, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
No, it shouldn't be too hard to get it reduced somehow. And
Home
I think
birth.
insurance should cover some of it.
No, I don't want home birth. No.
I don't either.
It's too risky.
Keep it at the hospital.
Yeah.
Plus, they got the option for an epidural, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
scary, but
100%.
also,
Gucci.
Worth it, dude.
there's no doubt that I wouldn't take one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd
Pop me
Give
up
me
with
that
one of them
shit, yeah.
epidurals with my wife, please.
Yeah, male and female.
Make me numb. Give me a morphine drip while I watch this.
Oh, Lord.
We'll see how I do, boys. I'll come back a changed man.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
PTSD. Help.
Yes, sir. But that's why I think medical stuff is a form of slavery or indentured servitude, as it were,
Yeah.
because it's been jacked through the roof. Which would be fine if it wasn't illegal to go outside the country and do it, because then you'd actually have competition.
Right.
But you can't go and do that shit, you know?
Mm.
Under the radar, you got to do it. So, yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
They got doctors right outside the country that'll do the same operations, same
Yeah.
quality of work, everything
like
for,
a half-hour drive out of California,
yeah,
like
for
right across the border.
a fraction of the price.
Yeah,
Yep.
for lots of dental shit too.
Yeah.
It's just right there. Doop.
Yep. Although
It's outrageous.
I like my dentist.
I don't know how comfortable I'd be going outside the country.
It'd be
They
sketchy.
don't got the same standards as they do in America.
No, they don't. But a lot
you
of
go to
times they're
Europe or
trained in the
something.
same
Europe,
schools and
maybe, yeah.
everything, you know?
Yeah, but like, it's dirty in a lot of places.
If
like,
you're going to
you're
Venezuela.
Mexico,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, just get your antibiotics. You'll be okay.
All right, it's just gross.
I think a
Oh,
lot
boy.
of them, yeah.
This next one is long. Amendment 14 is almost 2 pages.
Oh, my lordy lord.
We'll go through it one section at a time. Okay. All right. 14th Amendment ratified 1868. Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. It's just saying all persons born or naturalized in the U.S. are citizens of the U.S. and of that state. That's it.
Easy.
Because the citizens of the United States have the first 10 amendments as their Bill of Rights, and that's what it is. Section 2. Representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. But when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and the vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof, is denied to any male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age, and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged, except for participation in rebellion or other crime, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced in the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in each state. So this is just saying you've got to be 21 years of age to elect your senators, isn't it? Let's see.
No. Because we can all vote on it.
Because you count the whole number of persons that are 21 years of age or older. You count the whole number of persons that are 21 years or older in order to get the number of representatives for your state. Interesting.
Except Indians. Can't count them.
Except Indians that aren't taxed, which makes sense.
It's because they're on their own reservation and all that.
Yeah, they're not putting into the tax. They're not going to be voting. They
Yeah.
don't count. All right.
They're their own entity.
Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Interesting. So this is saying if you've gone against the United States and what she stands for, then you cannot be elected to any office unless Congress decides to vote 2/3 in favor of electing you, kind of thing.
Which is what they're trying to do to Madison Cawthorn. They're trying to tag him for the insurrection to where he can't get reelected. He's the youngest congressman ever.
Except that 2/3 of each house could remove that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but what does that do?
If they vote for him to be...
Yeah, that causes a lot
Yeah.
of pissed off people.
Yeah.
Oof.
Section 4. Jesus,
Validity?
Father Mucker, yeah, I know how to say it. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. That's interesting. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss of emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. Okay, so it's saying the public debt shall not be questioned.
$30 trillion.
That is interesting. But they will not incur any debt basically any debt that is for insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss of emancipation of any slave shall be held illegal or void. You could tell these are old amendments.
Yeah.
This is 3 years after the Civil War. 1868. When did it end, actually? Didn't it end in 65?
I don't know, but we can
Or
check.
did it start in 65? I thought it started in, 63.
The Civil War.
Or end. 1865 it ended.
Okay.
So 61 to 65.
61 to 65. Okay, got it. And finally, Section 5. The Congress shall have power to enforce by appropriate legislation the provisions of this article. Okay.
Dope.
Sounds good. Next one's nice and short. The 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870. Section 1. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Notice that it does not say gender or sex. This is before women could vote. Section 2. The Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So this was in 1870. That's when everybody was allowed to vote except women.
Okay.
Very interesting. And then we have a long span of time up till 1913 when Amendment 16 was ratified. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without appointment among the several states and without regard to any census or enumeration.
Get rid of it.
Yep, get rid of that fucking amendment. That's where income tax came in 1913. That's also around the time we were taking off the gold standard.
Right
all this
before
shit.
World War One.
That's when the Federal Reserve was created. Yep.
I want my money back right now.
Me too.
Yeah. Read Atlas Shrugged. There's a guy in there who robs from like governments and stuff, unearned gold that they had, and he will pay that to the actual initiators of big businesses and stuff, all of their income tax that got robbed from him.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Robin Hood?
Kind of, but he despises Robin Hood in the book.
Huh.
Because Robin Hood stole from the rich to give to the poor. This guy stole from the undeserving wealthy to give to the deserving wealthy.
The people who actually
Basically.
earned it.
Correct. So, very interesting. But yeah, 1913. That's when it all went to shit. Amendment 17. The Senate of the United States. Oh, this was also in 1913, by the way. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, elected by the people thereof for 6 years. Each senator shall have 1 vote. The electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislatures. When vacancies happen in the representation of any state in the Senate, the executive authority of such state shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies, provided that the legislature of any state may empower the executive thereof to make temporary appointments until the people fill the vacancies by election as the legislature may direct. This amendment shall not be so construed as to affect the election or term of any senator chosen before it becomes valid as part of the Constitution. This is just saying that each state gets 2 senators, and they have 6-year terms, pretty much.
Mitt Romney's our senator, right?
Yeah. Senator Romney.
That sucks. We have him for, 4 more
One
years?
of them. Who's the other one?
I don't know.
Burgess Owens.
Oh, yeah. Burgess Owens, I like him.
He's a good dude. Romney sucks.
I hate Romney.
Yep.
How many more years is he in for?
4.
Oh, my gosh.
Because he got elected the same year Biden. Right?
Can't we impeach?
We can. We
Senators?
passed that law when he because of him, when he voted to impeach Trump. I'm pretty positive.
Very interesting. How the turns have tied.
Yes.
All right. Amendment 18. This was ratified in 1919. It says, after 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territory subject to the jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes is hereby prohibited. Section 2. The Congress and the several states shall have concurrent power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. And Section 3. This article shall be inoperative unless it shall have been ratified as an amendment to the Constitution by the legislatures of the several states as provided in the Constitution within 7 years from the date of the submission hereof to the states by the Congress.
I can't believe that's an amendment, if we're being 100% honest.
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was just...
Prohibition?
Yeah.
That was an amendment.
That is wild. I can't believe they got enough people to vote for that.
Yeah, but they did. Very interesting, huh?
It's
It didn't stop anything.
No.
Just like the war on drugs.
Yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
stop anything.
Any of it.
Just
So-
made people do it in their basement.
Uh-huh. But that's where you get the, what are they called, speakeasies and things like that, kind of secret
Moonshine.
private bars, all that jazz. So, yes, sir. All right. Amendment 19. This was ratified in 1920. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. There you go.
Until after World War One.
Yep. Now women can vote. 1920. Another long time period for the 20th Amendment, which is also quite long. Let's see. Actually, did we want to stop on the 20th Amendment?
Do we want to do this next time too?
If there is a next time.
There will be a next time.
There will be next time. I'll still be here.
I plan on being here too. So.
Someone gonna die?
No.
Logan's just looking to get drafted over here. Sick fucker.
Yes.
Don't.
You know, you don't have to get drafted to join, brother.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, we could stop and polish it off next week.
Well, we'll stop at the 20th Amendment. Do you guys have any thoughts on the amendments? Anything like that?
Some of
What
those.
time are we at?
About 36, so not too bad.
I was
But-
saying some of those are weird. Like, never
Yeah.
would have guessed they were amendments.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have read that,
Prohibition.
Yeah.
I thought all the amendments were good. I didn't
Nah,
realize
bro.
some of them I'm like, I don't really like that.
Yeah, I
But
didn't.
then they have later amendments that cancel them out.
The
Bill of
prohibition
Rights I
was
like.
basically making alcohol legal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked
Yeah.
what that was signed off for.
And everyone
Absolutely
said,
insane,
Fuck
really.
that shit. Have you seen Lawless? Wasn't that? That was a good movie.
Isn't that where he gets his balls chopped off or something? It's
Oh,
in the
yeah.
jar.
Is
Wait,
that
what?
the one? Or is it the
Was
one
that
where the dude
Lawless?
gets like his throat sliced?
Yeah. It's the one, yeah,
Yeah,
Tom
that's that
Hardy
same
and
one.
Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
Mhm.
That's a good movie.
That
It
one
is.
But I think it is about that.
It's
Prohibition.
about, yeah, about the
Yep.
So they're doing
prohibition.
moonshine.
Mhm.
Yep. That's exactly what it's about.
It's a good movie.
That's like trying to outlaw nicotine these days. World War III instantly. That'd be weird.
You just have tobacco growers all over. It wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't stop
Just
something.
wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly. But same thing with weed and any other drug you want to get, you can get it.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
you'll
they
find
think you can outlaw something you can do in your house. Like
Yeah.
booze, you can literally make booze. It's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Like
true.
weed, if you really wanted, if you just wanted enough for you could probably just grow a single plant.
Yeah, it would stink. You'd have to do it like on a, like, or just not have people over.
Yeah, well
They'll
that's
rat you out. But
yeah, but I mean, that is you can do it in your house, and it
Oh,
wouldn't be
easily.
like hard.
I did it.
Yes.
I saw a picture of like a grape juice that they sold during Prohibition, and it said, "Do not leave in your cupboard for this many weeks. Do not do this. Do not do this, or else it will produce alcohol." You know, and it
throw
was
it.
exact instructions on how to create booze out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah.
Make some bathtub gin. Gross. Yeah, way gross. When you're desperate, I bet you they had some real good tasting stuff. Some of them. Homemade stuff's the best.
Sometimes.
Well, in
Yeah.
prison they make gallons of wine and throw parties.
Dang. Yeah.
Like you
In
can
there,
do anything.
Like toilet wine or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they make it,
In
but
Brutal.
I'm pretty positive the toilet. I've heard that.
Yeah.
probably it makes sense why they get pissed off if you don't clean it out. They'll kill each other over it.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I've listened to
Take a hard
so many
pass.
hours of prison videos.
Oh, hard pass. I just won't go to prison.
Yeah. No thanks.
Unless.
It was just proving a point that it can be made in the house and
Yeah.
fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
Unless what?
Unless being moral and virtuous suddenly becomes illegal.
Well, we're heading down that path, ain't we?
Yeah.
compelled speech stuff like having to call people by their names, like Zazer or whatever the fuck they want. In New York, you can go to jail for that.
You know that in
That's why we don't go to New York.
when I went and get my ears pierced, they
Yeah.
had what pronouns you like to be called by, and I put Zerzem. so yeah,
Did they call you Zerzem?
no, they didn't mention it, but I thought it was funny.
Just fuck with them.
I have no issue with it being there. I have an issue with it being law.
Yeah.
Just do whatever you want. You can be weird.
Isn't
Yep.
it law in Canada?
Yeah.
Like pretty much the rest of
That's
the
why
world.
Jordan
Bill
Peterson's
C-16,
famous.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
C16, right? Bill C16 or
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
Which
You
yeah,
said, no, I don't like that.
No, I don't think that's the right way.
I'm not doing it.
No. I need to get a Jordan Peterson impression down. And a Ben Shapiro. This would be
Have
great.
you seen Freedom Tunes?
yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
sure.
they're
Probably.
hilarious.
Yep.
A goat is not a person. So shit like that. It's hilarious.
He does an impression when he's talking to Jordan Peterson on his podcast of him talking about Shrek. It is so damn funny, dude. Right to Jordan Peterson's face. It is so funny.
I'll have to watch it. Freedom Tunes, Jordan Peterson, Shrek.
It's funny.
Look it up.
So I seen a video. This has to come into like masculinity and how demoralized men have been.
Jordan Peterson's a good guy for that.
Yeah, but either way, the video, this girl was punched 36 times, I think, in the head. Not a single person did one thing. Everyone just looked. While this girl literally got beat.
Wow.
That's
And
all.
it was in America.
That's the hard thing. Nobody knows what the fuck a man is anymore, and they'll tell you,
Yeah.
"Man up," and you're be a man. It's like, what the fuck is that anymore?
Well, what do you do in that situation? Do you come up because it was a girl beating on another girl? So does the man come up and fucking lay a haymaker on that girl?
No,
Fuck
you just
yeah.
hold her down.
That's what I think.
put her on her
Absolutely,
ass.
you knock her the fuck out.
She's taking it too far.
Once they're down, they're down. Get the fuck off.
She was on a desk. Her head was on a desk. Wow, 36 fucking times. I think it was
Wow.
36, and it's like, you could just see people in the background watching.
Hell no.
Put
Like,
I
no.
understand giving people their fight. It's like, no, you guys are fighting. Great. That's your thing.
It wasn't a fight. That was a fucking mutilation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
once it
kangaroo
gets to
kick
that
them in the
point-
back of the neck, fucking spinal cord, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's just evil, weird,
Yeah.
It is
It's
way
weird.
bad.
and it proves to how our society's becoming. What is it? Strong men make comfortable times.
Yeah.
Comfortable times make weak men, and weak men make hard times, or something like that.
Yeah.
Hard times make strong men. Back
Yeah.
around.
And I think it's coming to that point.
Yeah, we've got weak men
Absolutely.
going into hard times.
Yep. So, I don't know. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be aight.
We'll
be
make
aight.
it.
Who
Yep.
knows what happens?
I'd like to think we're strong men, but we'll see.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think our generation's going to be huge for
Yes.
history.
Yeah. Most definitely.
What are we, Gen Z, Gen X?
Z.
Z.
I think X was an absolute failure.
Are we all Z?
Yeah.
Real close, if not.
Doesn't
Um,
it go
it might have-
millennial then Z?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a cutoff at some point there, and I'm real close to it.
Who were the World War II veterans? Were they
That's the boomers.
Boomers.
Yeah.
boomer? So it's boomers, millennials, X, and then Z?
I think it's
No.
boomers, X, millennials, Z.
Yeah, because Gen Z, I'm like right on the edge, so I never know if I technically Gen Z or
Let's
not.
just see.
I think we're all
Gen
Z.
X is 1965 to 1980.
Okay.
So then millennials, and then
Yeah.
So
And is a
Gen X
generation
would be
15 years,
all of our
or-
parents. I
Z
don't know.
would be 1997 to 2012.
okay.
Yep, so I'm Gen Z.
We're all Gen Z.
So who's after
Okay.
2012? What are they called?
Gen
Babies.
A, it's Alpha, I think, Generation Alpha or
Gen-
something.
Gen A2?
They should be Generation Beta.
Generation Zero, the last generation.
Yeah.
Might be.
Well,
So is a generation 15 years? That's weird.
I thought they were like 2025.
Really? Well, 1997 to 2012 is 15 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Generation is usually 20 to 30 years, it says.
Interesting.
So that generation is a period in which children are born and grow up, become adults, and begin to have children.
So why is that only whatever? I don't care.
That's about 20 to 30 years. That makes sense.
97 to yeah, but why is 97 to 2012 a generation? Why isn't it like to 2000?
Maybe they didn't.
Like to our age currently.
Maybe they didn't update the stats. I don't know.
Why do you think Gen Z is gonna be the one that's gonna be like the strongman?
Because of millennials. I'm serious. They're so soft. You watch the things they do, and we grew up in high school. You could see it around you. All the kids were growing up being like, "No, I want nothing to do with whatever the heck this social justice stuff is."
That's true.
You'll still have a lot of those in Gen Z, but yeah, I think we're gonna see.
I was gonna say I've just seen
Massive
both,
lashback.
like a lot. People around my age, it's either they're all about it or they're just like fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's what it was, high school. But as far as high school went, at the beginning of the year, it was like really kind of meh. But as it slowly went, you could see more and more like conservatives and people thinking the way we think as opposed to social justice for sure.
Well, it helps
I
that
like
they're
it.
all aborting their kids too.
You're right. Yeah.
Conservatives coming in fucking strong.
Mm-hmm. Coming in clutch. Awesome. Well, we'll finish up the rest of the amendments. We stopped at 20. We'll continue on through 27. There might be 28 now.
I don't know.
Double check. There's not 28. There's only
27,
Okay.
I believe.
We should have a book figured out by next time, or we could do it this time as well.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
There was a book, I don't remember.
Did you guys want to do Atlas Shrugged?
I'd actually be down for
I
that.
would not hate that at all.
It's long. It's definitely long, but it is such a damn good book. It is incredible.
Taking a month out.
So
Oh, yeah, you could do it in a month.
then would be March 14th.
Wouldn't that'd be like 2 hours a day if you're on normal speed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you throw that.
Yeah, if you're on normal speed. It's a 60-hour book, so
So what? Shoot for
Yeah.
March 14th then?
yeah.
That'll be
Take it.
exactly a month.
Atlas Shrugged
Okay.
by Ayn Rand, out a month. Love it. And I'm in the middle of reading it right now, too. It's just such a dang good book about how physical profit is the manifestation of your spirituality and your willpower. Like, fuck yeah. That's great.
Wait, say that again.
Physical profit is the manifestation of your willpower and spirituality.
That'll be so interesting because we have a lot of stories behind that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cool.
Which version of Atlas Shrugged? There's a 52-hour one and a 62-hour one.
How does that make sense with corrupt
Shit,
people?
let me see.
What?
Rich people that are corrupt.
62 for sure. That's the one I've read.
Maybe
Scott
I'm
Brick.
understanding what he
I
said.
think so, yeah.
So basically, whatever you manifest, like you are your own creator, essentially.
Right, but you're saying like you're not talking about just material wealth, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay,
Relationships, everything.
Everything.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oops.
Did you break it? Oh.
No, I just smacked
Um,
back.
Yeah, it's a very good book. I think you guys will like it. Sometimes it's long-winded, sometimes it's a little slow, but like especially towards the end, there's some really damn good speeches in there. Oh my gosh, incredible! And the speeches throughout, the mini speeches that happen as people are talking to each other, it's just like holy shit, it's good stuff.
It's good
Guys
stuff.
will like it. I think it'll also probably make you want to buy gold. It's good.
I was thinking about
Again.
selling my shit.
Similar to fake. I can help you do that. I don't know how to do it. SD Bullion claims to have the best prices on it.
Yeah, I
for
just have
returns.
no reason for it.
Yeah. I was actually looking into it the other day. I just need to break down exactly what year my coins are and stuff.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Sick, boys.
Smash the like button.
Super fun.
Smash the like button, subscribe. We'll
Comment.
see you guys next
Yeah.
week. Thanks for
Adios.
joining us.
See ya.